What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barça Boy 103. Today we're going to be doing yet another reaction video where today we're going to be reacting to the football narratives video on why Flick's Barcelona's a nightmare for Europe. Quite a gassy video, which of course is, high production, gassing Barcelona, discussing of course how hopefully we should be able to finish on Europeans' highest level at the end of the season. So let's get into it. Of course, I'll give my commentary on top of it as someone who's watched every single second of every single minute of Flick ball this season, and of course the ins and out around the team and the build up towards it as well. So of course, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like down below, subscribe as well if you haven't already, and let's get into it.
What Hansi Flick is doing with this Barcelona team isn't normal. They're not just winning, they're winning with style, dominating, embarrassing the biggest teams in Europe and making it look way too easy. They press high, attack in waves, and when they go forward, they do it with one goal in mind.
We gotta keep in mind as well, the finishing of this team has been crazy this season. Even though they've missed so many opportunities, the goals we still scored, I'd say like a solid like 40 to 50% of them are like pinpoint perfection finishes.
Destroy the position. So, what makes Barcelona the most scary team in Europe?
What is it? Oh, the bully.
Barcelona has already humiliated Real Madrid with an aggregate score of 9-2 this season. Even Hansi Flick's former team didn't get spared. They beat Bayern Munich 4-1 in the Champions League, a result that sent shockwaves around Europe. It's safe to say Hansi Flick has been cooking with Barcelona all season. That Real Madrid game was the talking point. They beat Madrid 4-0 at the Bernabeu.
Don't forget this game as well. All 4 goals in the second half, an absolute cook session in the second half. First half was quite even. I think we had a few chances. I think Fermin had a chance and Lua. They, of course, had the Vinicius chance and the Mbappe chance that was offside. So first half was quite even, but second half tore them to shreds.
And the shocking part about that was, it could have been more after Robert Lewandowski missed 2 sitters.
They
met in the Super Cup final in Saudi Arabia. And in the first half, Barcelona tore Real Madrid into shreds. A final, a cup final, and Barcelona
again, you have to remember, like in this game as well, those were the fortunes in that game were the ones that we scored in that first half. We didn't have any other chance. I think we had a chance in the first 10 minutes before Mbappe scored, but look at the header from Rafinha and this finish from Bullet where I freeze framed it. It's bottom right hand corner. Like, these finishes are just pinpoint perfection.
Goals against Madrid at halftime, but for the red card Szczesny got early in the second half, they would have continued the beat down. But as crazy as this result was, it was a huge statement this season. Hansi Flick's Barcelona had already faced the acid test just days before that 4-0 win against Real Madrid, and they aced that to perfection. Bayern Munich was the standard. Barcelona hadn't beaten the German giants since 2015, suffered that 8-2 defeat in 2020, and since that point on, it had almost become a given
10 years since we beat Bayern? Bloody hell, man.
Bayern to have the upper hand against Barcelona in Europe. Hansi Flick switched camps, and the result did too. A Rafinha-inspired hat-trick gave Barcelona a 4-1 win over Bayern, and with that win, Flick's Barcelona had made it clear they weren't messing domestically or in Europe. It's a trend that has continued as the season has progressed.
Great point there. I mean, that week of Bayern and Madrid, but we won 8-1 on aggregate in total, was the moment that everyone realized this team is going to do something special. Again, if we just cut the clean sheet against Bayern, you know how sick that would have been. Again, to be fair, Bayern cooked us in that opening 20 minutes. So we got lucky conceding only 1, but imagine it was like 8-0 on aggregate. Oh my god.
This season alone, Barcelona has hit 5 goals or more against many teams and have made scoring goals look like a joke now. Perhaps the most impressive thing about these results is the quality of the opposition. They really did hit 5 against Real Madrid, Betis, Sevilla, teams that have decent standings in European competitions. It's a Barcelona team that's defined by its goals now. On average, they're scoring at least 3 goals per match. It gets...
He's not wrong there as well. Like, we score a lot of goals. Even look at the games that we maybe drew or lost. We lost 4-2 to Osasuna. We still scored 2. Even you look at the 2-1 against Sociedad. What other losses did we have this season? There's not that many, thankfully. Did we lose anything in the Champions League? Yeah, we lost the first game 2-1 Monaco. So there's always a 1-goal score. I can't remember. I don't think there was a game this season where we've been shut out. I don't think. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I don't think there's a game this season where we've not scored in it. Even the draws we've had 1-1 against Getafe, 2-2 against Atlanta. We lost 3-1 to Dortmund. I'm trying to think in during that terrible patch. Oh, we lost 1-0 to Leganes, so maybe that was one of the few games where we didn't concede a goal. So even then, win, lose, or draw, we're still scoring. I think we've maybe not scored maybe 2 or 3 games this season, like very, very minimal. Maybe the 1-0 against Sociedad as well. So I can think of 2 off the top of my head only in the games where we haven't scored this season.
Scary when you take into account the 4 goals mark and see names like Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid twice, and Real Madrid again. And by doing this, they're breaking records too. 100 goals in just 32 matches under Hansi Flick, one behind for the record of quickest to 100 goals in a season.
Damn.
The rate at which Flick's Barcelona is scoring goals is alarming. In 2014-15, Luis Enrique's Barcelona team set a record for the most games with 5 goals or more that season. And now, under Hansi Flick, they've hit 5 or more 11 times this season. It's still only April, a lot of games to be played. And the best part about this...
I think since this video, we hit 4 past Celta, so we were close then. 4 past Dortmund, we were close then. We haven't hit 5 in a minute, but you never know.
Is where the goals are coming from. 2014-15 was all about MSN. 2024-25, Barcelona has had 19 different goal scorers this season.
Baby.
Yes, you could be tempted to mention the front 3 of Lewandowski, Rafinha and Lamine Yamal, but equally, players like Ferran Torres and Fermin Lopez have contributed their share of goals off the bench too.
Well, to be fair, in that 14-15, a lot of the squad players got goals. You know, I don't think Busquets scored that season, and yes, Rakitic definitely did. Jordi Alba did. Mascherano, of course, never did. Piqué scored that season. Dani Alves did. I'm pretty sure, like bench players like Rafinha scored, Munir scored, Sandro scored. I think maybe Adriano scored a cup goal. I don't know if Montoya scored or not. Sam put in the score, of course the goalkeepers didn't, so we still had quite a few goal scorers. I think this season only Ansu Fati, Christensen, and Hector Fort are the 3 players who haven't got a goal this season in the squad. If I'm not mistaken, João Martin has scored, Casado has scored, so apart from the goalkeeper. So still a crazy record, but we've always had a team where most of the players do get on the score sheet some way, somehow.
Question with all of this is, how did Barcelona become so good this season? The answer? It's down to the tactics of this man.
But this is the mentality of the team, and we score a lot of goals till now, and this is the way they want to play. Always score, focus on the next goal.
Hansi Flick and what he's doing at Barcelona, it's simply stunning. His tactics are centered on one key aspect, and that's to maximize the team into becoming a goal-scoring unit. They push high up the pitch, and with centre-backs like Pau Kubasi and Inigo Martinez, who have become experts at nailing the offside trap to perfection, Barcelona starts the defending in the opposition's half and builds the attack from there. The fullbacks have slightly different roles. Alejandro Balde advances more into the opposition's half because of the space Rafinha leaves when he gets into central areas, while Koundé holds a slightly deeper position, but still gets into attacking areas equally.
Spot on, of course. We know that Rafinha basically plays as an inside left forward beside Lewandowski, which of course leaves more space for Balde. We know that Koundé likes to overlap on Lemmy, but probably not too much. But still gets there into areas, especially in games where we are dominating as well. Terrible freeze frame here, but yeah, he's spot on there.
Where the real magic happens is in the middle of the pitch. This area is key to Flick because it determines everything. The 3 in midfield, usually Pedri and Marc Casado, with Dani Olmo as the advanced attacking midfielder and Lewandowski as the focal point of the attack. The idea is to have as many players in the middle of the pitch as possible to create an overload.
And that's why Frankie de Jong has done so well this season, because Casado in those overloading spaces, sometimes his passing isn't too accurate. His main focus, of course, is defensive transition, winning back the ball, interceptions, and quick passes forward to get the counter-attack and transition going, whereas Frankie de Jong is involved in absolutely everything, and that's why Frankie de Jong, in my opinion, took the spot of Casado in the end, unfortunately, before he did get injured.
Doing this allows the team to pick out options out wide. Even when the opposition tries to overload the midfield, Hansi Flick's solution is to get players like Rafinha or even Lewandowski dropping to create more options in the middle. The point is, Barcelona can't be outnumbered in this position, else the system won't work. It's been working for a long while now. All of what's happening this season is the perfect redemption arc for Hansi Flick and many of his players.
This is the first time a German head coach has been fired. The first manager to be sacked in the history.
That's crazy.
Of the Federation. That tells you the state of things and how dire they.
Kinda sucks that for Flick, because the German national team was his absolute dream job. Of course, he was assistant under Joachim Löw. When he took over Bayern, he had Bayern at the peak of European football, and he left them to take his dream job. And it kind of sucked that he got eliminated. Like I think Euros round 16 he got eliminated, and not Euros, yeah, Euro 2020, and then of course World Cup group stage humiliation.
Saw the situation to be, because this is unprecedented.
With all that's happening now, it's easy to forget that just a few years ago, Hansi Flick was making history for the wrong reasons. He'd become the first German manager in the history of the national team to get sacked, and this was off the back of his insane spell at Bayern Munich. After that move, there were questions about if Flick would be able to implement his tactics
sometimes
at Barcelona.
Some managers are national team managers, some
with back-to-back 2-1 wins and winning by just a goal in those 3 games. It was clear Barcelona were adapting to Flick's tactics, but what wasn't clear was just how well they'd be able to adapt. But since the Bayern game, there's been no stopping them, no looking back. Flick and his Barcelona team, as of writing this, remain unbeaten in 2025, and it gets better too, because in the same way he's been on his redemption path, he's put some of the Barcelona players on the same road too. Things were so mixed with Rafinha that after the end of the 2023-24 season, there was talk about Nico Williams coming to Barcelona and Rafinha's jersey up for grabs in the space of 8 months. It's gone from that to...
Hey, Rafinha came out saying he was going to leave. So if Flick didn't tell him to stay, he was going to leave, which made sense with those Saudi bids coming in for around 80 million, 90 million. And that Rafinha was being... Remember, there were some rumors like beginning of July that Rafinha was beginning to get tempted. So everything in the end lines up in a way. And yeah, Rafinha doing this. Look how many laughing emoji he has as well. That means he was pissed.
Not just being one of the most important players in this Barcelona team, but becoming the outright favourite for football's biggest award. The Brazilian knows he owes all that change to Hansi Flick, because with the system, the manager is highlighting his best qualities.
I'm saying if a guy has virtually the same amount of goals than you guys score without penalties, that is outstanding. Because what Rafinha is doing on top of defending pressure, because when people talk about being complete, as a striker you need to know how to put pressure also. It's a lot of things that you need to do, and Rafinha has it all.
He's getting him in more isolated situations with fullbacks. And by playing him as a left-sided winger, Rafinha doesn't always have to cut inside and become predictable with his shooting. Goals like the one against Bayern show he has a direct route to goal.
Like Rafinha, I never had a player like this, because he's unbelievable, dynamic against the ball, but also with the ball. His speed is really fantastic.
And it's paying off too. This season, he has 27 goals and 20 assists in 43 games, which is...
Of course, that's 47 GA. He's now on, I think, 53, 54 GA. Actually, he might be on... Yeah, I think he's on 54 since that Celta Vigo game, so... mental.
He's already more than double his tally from last season. It's the best return of his career so far, and he's not slowing down. The same with the polish. At some point, there was talk about Robert Lewandowski being too old, but...
Yes, there were reports about, of course, Lewandowski. Barcelona never for a second considered selling Lewandowski. They invested too much money in him. He's one of the poster boys of Barcelona, advertisement, sponsorships, and revenue. His wages, of course, were increasing every single year. He offered the club to reduce his wages, and the club said no, which shows how much he deserves it, how much the club do want him to keep that wage, because he's fully deserving of it. On the pitch, maybe 70% heard of it, but then off the pitch, he of course accumulates a lot.
The Polish striker has rediscovered his deadly goal-scoring touch. He's the top scorer in La Liga with 25 goals and averaging 1.01 goals per 90.
What's crazy about this is that Lewandowski, with the amount of chances he's missed this season, could definitely have double. I mean, I've seen Lewandowski miss some utter disgusting stinkers this season. I mean, not just performances, but I'm talking actual misses as well. I think easily 100% he should have another 15 goals to his tally this season, without a shadow of a doubt. Taking away his, I think, 1 or 2 missed penalties this season, he's had, I think, at least minimum 10, 15 clear-cut chances on goal that he's missed. Then you can maybe, that's the bare minimum. You're probably thinking probably makes sense to say 20. So he should probably have double the goals he has this season, and already a ridiculous, number for him this season.
He ranks 99th percentile in the league in his category. He's got 9 goals in 10 Champions League games, 38 goals and 3 assists in 43 games
in all competitions
now for Barcelona this season. Lewandowski is 36. When you let this sink in and consider he was missing chances like this last season, he's become a much improved player under Hansi Flick,
get it twisted.
which says a lot. For the ones who haven't needed redemption arcs, Hansi Flick has only gone and improved them. Pedri is arguably the best midfielder in the world right now. It's down to Hansi Flick. There's been no questioning Pedri's talent, but the biggest difference with him under Flick is how fit he is.
He's 100% fit, and it's very good to see what he's doing with the ball, but also without, against the ball, it's really unbelievable. For me, it's on this position, he's the best.
Signature life from Flick, it's really unbelievable.
See, Hansi Flick's Barcelona now uses advanced scientific data that reads the genetics of players like Pedri to help develop specific fitness plans and recovery methods for them. What this in turn means is that Pedri is having the best season of his career at Barcelona since he broke out at the club. Or a player like Lamine Yamal, the most exciting young talent in Europe. And under this system with Flick at Barcelona, he's gotten even better. Yamal has now become the combination of goal contributions with that attacking flair that makes him unique. He's got 32 goal contributions in 41 games this season, and at the same time has completed more dribbles with 104 than anyone else.
Like, these numbers for someone in their second full season, not even, probably their first full season as a first team player. I mean, he only got his first team squad number this past summer. At 17, doing numbers like this is nuts. Even that first season, I think he had like 15 GA. Of course, coming off the bench, not really started. I think he became a starter, of course, the last few months of the season. But my word, man, these numbers for his age and his caliber and what they're still to come, scary, scary, scary hours.
In the Barca team, this stat gets crazier when you realise the guy in second place, Dodi Lukebakio, comes in with 43 dribbles completed. Lamine Yamal is a beast, and sometimes he does stuff that even stats can't seem to define. That run versus Alaves, for example, or the goal versus Benfica at 17. He's already bagged twice against Real Madrid this season, including scoring in the final. And with his 11 dribbles out of 21 in a single match, he's dropped a record not even Messi managed to hit in La Liga. Switch the focus to guys like Jules Koundé, who has become the most solid right back in the game right now. Alejandro Balde.
Not taking that away from Koundé, he's been stinky the past 2 months. Needs to shape up.
Pau Kubasi, Frenkie de Jong, players who were already good, have now gotten better under Hansi Flick. He has made them winners too.
At the moment we have 3 competition. We can fight for 3 titles. I think no one expects like that, but the team is doing great, and this is what I can say.
Oh, yeah, Allah, please.
And the message is clear. Barcelona is fighting for everything this season. They're top of La Liga and in the final of the Copa del Rey after dumping Atletico Madrid out of the competition in the semis. And in the Champions League, the path is clear. Beat Dortmund, get into the semis of the competition, and one step closer to the final. It might seem like an impossible task, but as each week passes, there are more reasons to believe that Barcelona could win the treble. The form of the rest of the teams around Europe plays a big role too. At the start of the year, Liverpool was arguably the most informed team in Europe. But in the space of 5 days, they were knocked out of the Champions League and lost a Carabao Cup final to Newcastle, and that's one team off the picture. Real Madrid too. They've shown their ability to pull off miracle comeback after comeback this season. The same with Bayern Munich. They seem back under Vincent Kompany. But there's one thing that brings these two in connection with Barcelona this season. It's the fact that they've both been thumped heavily by Barcelona. PSG might seem like the only exception, but the point here is that Barcelona has sustained a moment for large parts of the season. Sure, there have been a few blips like losing to Rayo Vallecano or Las Palmas at home and losing to Monaco in the Champions League. But they've been just that, blips.
Did we lose to Rayo Vallecano this season? I swear we beat them 1-0 and 2-1 away.
Throughout the season, no team has maintained the same level of performance as Barcelona has. Now, it seems like history is on their side too. The similarities between the Barcelona treble winning teams of 2009 and 2015,
I've talked about these in my Goals TV videos. Make sure, of course, you check it out. Goals.tv. I compared them. It's very, very similar.
Each had a coach who was in his first year, implementing a new style that was turning heads across Europe. Pep with his tiki-taka dominance, Luis Enrique with that front three of the MSN, and now Hansi Flick with a team that will outscore any opposition. Barcelona under Hansi Flick right now is a well-oiled machine. They're sweeping across Europe, scoring goals for fun and destroying the big teams along the way. And come the end of the season, Hansi Flick's team could very well be celebrating a historic treble, which will put them right up there with the greatest Barcelona teams in the club's history.
Well, hopefully it does happen. But yeah, everything in that video is absolutely correct and talks about the journey, of course, to this moment from the players and from the manager as well, and how well we are doing. And yes, of course, not only is the treble on, but also the quadruples on. Semi-final of the Champions League, first place in La Liga, Copa del Rey final this weekend coming up as well. Again, it's all well and good when you can outscore your opponents and have all these story arcs. Comes down to, of course, winning the trophies. And, you know, the similarities are there with the former teams of Barcelona, where they have a good first season, they go on and do it all. similarities are there. We're cooking, we're dominating, just now down really to get to the finish line. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know your thoughts on the video, on thoughts on his opinion, and my, opinions on it as well. Make sure you guys drop a like if you have enjoyed, and subscribe down below if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Take care, and Forza Barça.